Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm so glad you can join us here on another episode here of our Kingdom Focus podcast. We appreciate you guys being with us this morning. Listen, I wanted to kind of get on here and talk about a disciple. His name was or the disciple Thomas, right? He was known better yet known as Doubting Thomas, and if many of you know the story, he doubted, right? And I'm gonna read into that, but it's amazing that this gentleman, this disciple, even doubted in the first place because he's seen so much work that Jesus did. He was there. He was, boots on the ground. He was there with them through so many things and witnessed so many miracles and witnessed so many things that have occurred biblically throughout the stories. He was there. But that goes to show you in life we can know those moments that Jesus shows up in our life. We can decipher them as we look back in our life and see those accounts that okay, I know Jesus. Jesus saved me from this, right? Or Jesus saved me for that. And I believe that when we go to heaven and we watch our life unfold before us, He's going to show us how many times He actually saved our life and actually saved us from something that probably should have happened to us, but it didn't. Because that's the love and mercy that he gives us, right? And so here Thomas is going through life, and what's interesting is, his name was also Didymus, which translates to twin. Could you imagine? I hear young kids today talk about, "Oh, that's my twin. Oh, that's my twin," and that's the form of a compliment because y'all are similar in things that y'all do. Y'all are similar in interests, things that y'all like, right? And this was Jesus calling him, man, that's my twin, right? And so he saw so much of himself in Thomas that he named him, right? But it wasn't until later that, Thomas goes through all these things with Jesus and he's going through life and he's doing everything. And then Jesus does what Jesus does and only that Jesus could do, and that was sacrifice himself for us. And then that's whenever the doubt kicked in, right? That's whenever the doubt happens. And so I'm gonna read this to you, just so y'all get the context of what I'm talking about, and it's in John chapter 20, and I'm gonna read starting from verse 24, and it goes down to verse 25. So I'm gonna read these two. It says, verse 24. It says, "Now Thomas, one of the 12, called the twin, was not with them when Jesus came. So the other disciples told him, 'We have seen the Lord.' But he said to them," and I'm gonna pause right there because so now Jesus comes and shows himself to these other disciples, and Thomas wasn't even around for it. He wasn't even there. And then the disciples went back to tell Thomas about it. I wonder why. I wonder why when Jesus appeared to them, Thomas wasn't around. Right? Because everything Jesus does, he does with a purpose. And so whenever they said that we've seen the Lord, but he said to them, "Unless I see in his hand the mark of the nails and place my finger into the mark of the nails and place my hand into his side, I will never believe." I will never believe. Right? So now he's asking for something. He's like, "Man, I can't. I've seen so much. I've seen the miracles. I've seen Jesus do so many things. I've seen God's miraculous hand move. But this is wild. I don't know if I can believe this, guys. I don't know." We've done so much great things together. I know, and I don't know if I can believe this one. I think this one is just too far out there for me to understand and to believe. Now, you can take your life and seen so many things that God has done, and then you can come across something that you're going through and say, "Man, this is just too much." God, I know, I know, I've seen so many other things that you've done in my life, and so many other things that you've done. I just don't know about this. I think this might just be too big for you, right? And so I'm gonna continue in verse 26. It says, 8 days later, his disciples were inside again, and Thomas was with them. So now he's with them. And so now Jesus is he's gonna come again. It says, although the doors were locked, Jesus came and stood among them and said, peace be with you. Then he said to Thomas, look, Jesus knew already. Jesus knew. He was all right. Thomas is with them now. Now I'm gonna pop in. I'm not even gonna address peace be with everybody. Y'all don't get scared, right? Peace be with y'all. It's good. Thomas, come here. Come here. Let me talk to you for a sec. Right? That Jesus directly went to Thomas. Told everybody else into the room, hey, we're good, guys. Y'all, it's all good. Thomas, come here. Says, put your finger here and see my hand. And put your hand and place it in my side. Do not disbelieve, but believe. Thomas answered him, my Lord and my God. Jesus said to him, have you believed because you have seen me? Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed. Jesus, you think about his love and his mercy and how he interacted with everybody. He could have appeared to all, he could have, first of all, he could have appeared to all of them at the same time, but he didn't, right? He didn't appear all at one time to all of them at one time at the same time, but then he saw Thomas was doubting, and so now he's like, okay, now I got him in a room. Now I'm gonna go see him, and in the room in front of everybody, calls him out, right? But he did it with love. In the Bible, if you study your Bible, sometimes you'll see where it says "verily, verily," and where it's like very serious, and Jesus is talking very aggressive and is sometimes even yet right. But with Thomas, he just talked to him and said, "Here, come here. Let me show you this. Put your finger right here. See that? Right here. Put your hand right here. You see that? Okay, it's me. It's really me. But now I don't want you just to believe only because you've now seen me, because blessed are those that have not yet seen and believe. Right? We have to get to that point